So you've spoken with a client on the phone, or you've had a meeting perhaps, and you now want to give them a free trial, which is quite normal procedure. So here's one way that you can do this. Now, I urge you as a vendor not to simply hand over sample reports. They have very little influence and very little impact. And the most effective thing that you can do for any prospective employer is to let them read their own report. That's the thing that has the most impact and will have a huge influence on your outcome of your sale. So here's how to create. So let's say this client doesn't even have an account yet. You're going to create a free trial for them. The first thing you want to do is go into your vendor control room and create a client account. And that's as simple as clicking on that button, filling that in. You may at this stage want to use your own email address instead of the client's, because the system may kick out automatic emails, and until you're ready to hand over the keys to their account, you maybe not want to do that. So you could always put in, you can change it at a later date once the client actually is set up. So now that you've done that, you can, if you click on your registered clients, you'll see that that new client is now in your control room, listed on your registered clients. So now we're going to go over to the actual client's control room, and what I would suggest is that you use two different browsers for this, and two different types of browser as well, because of the security systems with browsers. So you might want to use Explorer and Firefox, and use one for each account. That way it allows you to alt-tab between two accounts and two types of control room. So now I'm in the actual client, the employer's control room, and you'll see the difference here is that they can view reports. Vendors cannot view reports. So what we want to do now is simply raise a quote request. Now you may have to actually design a new report for them if you've had a discussion with them and you feel you want to do that, or just use one from the existing library. So you simply go to this page here, create new quote. Let's say we want to put in 3 of those, select the report, and then submit quote request, and you'll get this success message. And if you go back to the quote request, you'll see that that's been created here. Now it's not available yet, as you'll see from this here, as you now have that request sitting in your vendor control room, and you now need to go and put a price on that, which if it's a free trial would be 0, and allocate it to that account. So here's how we do that. So now going back over to the vendor control room, and if we click on outstanding quote requests, you'll see that the quote request that you just created is sitting here, and we can click on that. And now it's a case of editing the details. So as one I just created, we want to do it by 0, tick on the ready for payment, and approve quote request. And what will now happen is there'll be 3 reports of this type sitting in the client's control room. You can now go to the client, give them access to their control room, give them their username and password, talk them through how to use that. And you can do all of this on the phone, and show them where they can go and find those reports, whereabouts they need to go to fill in the questionnaire so that they can actually read their own reports. And when you do this, you're actually giving them the full experience. And by talking them through it, it removes many of the fears of the technophobes. It overcomes many of those issues, and it shows them really that they can do all this with just a handful of clicks once they know what they're doing. That's how you create a free trial. Very straightforward.